In a small office on Dearborn Street in downtown Chicago, four businessmen gathered on February 23, 1905, to start the first Rotary Club. Sylvester Sheely, a coal dealer, Paul Harris, a lawyer, Hiram Shorey, a tailor, and Gus Lohr, a mining engineer. These founding principles of Rotary remain in effect today, along with the four-way test written by Herb Taylor of Chicago in 1932.
The four-way test is Rotary's unique contribution to the world. In 24 words, it raises four practical questions about our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. It offers no value judgments. It states no presuppositions. The four-way test simply pricks the individual conscience in vital areas of human interrelatedness and interdependency. That Chicago Rotarian who in 1932 developed the famous test stated that it grew out of a need for some simple ethical guidelines which everyone in his company could quickly memorize. After humbly requesting divine help, Herb Taylor sat down at his desk, picked up a white card, and wrote the following.
First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? As Paul Harris was the architect of Rotary, Chesley R. Perry was, for more than 30 years, the builder of Rotary International. Rotary has grown to almost 1 million members in 20,000 clubs around the world. The Buckhead Rotary Club, which meets at Anthony's each Monday at noon, was started in 1950 by Jim Shepard and the Atlanta Rotary Club. This video production was inspired by those Buckhead Rotarians who served before us, past presidents, directors, and leaders of the community who were dedicated to service above self. Men like John Newton, Ray Smith, George Vandenoort, Otis Jackson, John Wilson, Stan Nash, Frank Burson, Roland Smith, and J.T. Talbert, and countless others. In this video yearbook, we'll review what we do best and try to capture the mood, message, and humor of the moment.
It was always a boyhood dream of mine to become a member of Buckhead Rotary. I envisioned the members as sober, virtuous pillars of the community going about doing good and giving apples to teachers. Imagine my disillusionment to find not so much an assemblage of public benefactors as a hotbed of stand-up comedians.
Incidentally, can I welcome Reverend Conley back?
Yeah, you can.
You know, when the swagger thing hit, they weren't sure how far that was going to go or how deep it would go. So Reverend Conley had to go underground for a while.
CB goes on to tell us where to find his printing business in the Yellow Pages.
You'll see that right between preachers and prostitutes, you'll find printers. So no matter which way a printer turns, somebody's going to get his money.
Well, it's a moment of real pleasure and pride to be there with you, Justice C. Martin, Jr.
You know, I hardly know how to thank Frank and Ike for their kind remarks. I've been looking at my watch and thought I was supposed to be through at this point.
Billy is also very active in what he's going to talk to us today. He's the chairman of the Georgia Amateur Athletic Foundation. That's the group that was put together to try to get us the Olympics, and I think Billy's going to tell us how he's going to get them here. So gentlemen, please welcome Billy Tang.
I want to leave a little time for him, and it's a great pleasure to introduce our district governor, Charles Henry.
We had a terrific meeting last night. I enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did. And somebody said, are you going to give us a hard time today? Yes, I'm going to give you a hard time. That is one of the most complete programs I've ever run into. You're the 33rd club I've had the opportunity to visit with. It's the most complete program that I've run into. I think it's terrific. My full feeling is if you took one more project under your belt, the whole daggone thing would go down the drain.
And you see, when he voted in the House of Representatives, he voted just like his constituents would have voted. And that is the secret to our form of democracy. The pressures from the various groups who want to be heard also. The have-nots are franchised, and if they can meet those four qualifications, they too can hold public office. And those of us who are in business or the professions, those of us who wear coats and ties to work every day, those of us who are capitalists to our core, who want to make sure that we have a part of democracy too, must be involved in that political system, or we will, through apathy, give it away. No.
But the adventure of Rotary involves more than just a weekly meeting, much more. Translating the theory, the ideal of service, into a practical reality. That's where the adventure begins.
9 years ago, our Rotary Club started the Buckhead Rotary Tennis Tournament. It is presently the largest high school tennis tournament in the state of Georgia. The tournament brings together high school tennis teams from the area, singles, doubles, male and female, and provides an enthusiastic foundation for athletic and character development. In the state of Georgia, there's a dearth of organized tennis tournaments in which youngsters can develop their skills. We have helped to fill this void in the Atlanta area. Our tennis tournament has met with tremendous growth and success. This year, we will have 14 boys teams and 12 girls teams representing 12 high schools.
One of my favorite programs is the Georgia Rotary Student Program. For 27 years now, the Rotary Club of Buckhead has given a full scholarship for 1 year to a student from abroad. Our student this year, Anna Osthaus from Hagen, Germany, is at Oglethorpe. I just happened to check this week. She is making all A's, and we're proud of that.
At the cornerstone of any Rotary Club is the Paul Harris Foundation to promote international understanding. Our club is a leader with 47 fellows and 23 sustaining members. Buckhead Rotarians have given close to $50,000 to help fight polio. It isn't fundraising, it's immunizing children. A team of 4 non-Rotarians from the Atlanta area, escorted by Buckhead Rotarian John Dykes, spent 4 weeks in the country of Sri Lanka. They met with 16 Rotary clubs and stayed at the homes of local Rotarians. The purpose of the exchange is to encourage world peace through cultural interaction and understanding.
You know, this Apples for Teachers is in its 13th year. Such a great and grand and glorious program where we as Buckhead Rotarians come together each year and polish many, many apples. Little fellowship and fun and polishing the apples, and the next morning we get together and deliver them to schools in the Buckhead area, presenting an apple to each teacher in the classroom just to tell them thanks and let them know that they're appreciated by the people in the community just for being a teacher.
For over 25 years, the Buckhead Rotary Club has sponsored the only youth basketball league for private school 7th graders in the Buckhead area. This year, the league has been expanded to 9 teams. Buckhead Rotary is in charge of coordinating the schedule, supplying the referees, record keeping, and providing a clock operator and official scorekeeper for each game.
Because if you look at the history of this century, democracy has not only a good form of government, but I know of no case this century where a democracy has attacked one of its neighbors.
Mr. Ambassador, on behalf of the members of the Buckhead Rotary Club, I want to thank you very much for an excellent presentation and being with us here. We know what a very complex and full calendar you have. And it gives us great comfort to know that we have you representing the United States and the United Nations. Great comfort.
And none of the work, the laboratory, the dormitory, the textbooks, the water tank, it was never done entirely by Americans. The Kenyans always did a large part of the work, and that way I hope they realize that they can develop on their own. If they'll take good care of the stuff, they'll realize how much work goes into it. So I want to say thank you very much. You did some excellent work, and you really improved the lives and the futures of a lot of young people somewhere in the mountains in East Africa. So thank you very much.
You might ask, why join Rotary? Some join because they expect a good meal once a week. In this, they may be disillusioned. Others for sordid business reasons. For this, they will be forgiven. Yet, sooner or later, sipping the pleasant wine of Rotary acquaintance, each will discover what he seeks. The warmth of Rotary fellowship, the wealth of information, the wisdom of life. That is a force for service in a world of forces for self.
He will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. The snare of the